Hey guys, Tyler here. Today we're discussing Seek and Destroy Fridays. Fridays. They tend to have a lot of manipulation. They tend to have a mind of its own. And when we look at price action today, it's going to show you what you need to stay away from. Do not try to trade in this market because if you do, you're going to get burned. And I ended up trading a little bit today and realized that it was crap, so I got out and I am done for the day. Let's go ahead to the charts. So take a look at this price action right here. This is the 5-minute chart, and as we can see, here is yesterday's price action. Look at the structure of how price played out. This is very clean. This is very tradable if you have the guts for handling the wicks. But you look at this, there's a breaker right there. This is a market maker sell model. We had a market maker buy model right here into a market maker sell model. This is great trading. Now, when we compare that to what we see today, this is the price action for today. Much smaller range. However, don't be deceived again. This range from this low to this high is still 150 points. My goal is just to get 10 to 15 handles. So when you see 150 handles, you're thinking, wow, a lot of volatility. There has to be an opportunity for me to make some money. That's what you think. But look how it is trading sideways within that 150 handles. We're also between the previous day high, sitting right here, which is way up there, and the previous day low, sitting right here. So we're inside this range, and anytime you're inside of a range, you can expect some type of manipulation, some type of choppy price action, and that is really what we're seeing here on the 5-minute time frame. Now let's go down to the 1-minute time frame, and this is really what I want you to understand on Seek and Destroy Fridays. Is that Seek and Destroy Fridays are seeking and then destroying your profits. What are they seeking? They're seeking liquidity. So as you start looking here, you see price run this low right here, okay? I'm gonna get in really close and I want you to see the pattern of what Seek and Destroy does so frequently. So after price runs this low and you think it's gonna keep running, what does it do? It turns around and runs the opposite direction, and what does it run? It runs that high. Now you're thinking, well, it's going to continue higher. Momentum traders are like, I'm getting in long. Momentum traders on Fridays and on Seek and Destroy days get obliterated because every time it goes above that level, what happens? It turns around and runs the other direction. What does it run? The sell side of liquidity. So we're sitting that right here. And what does it do? It acts like it's going higher, fakes as it's going lower, so the breakout traders are thinking, oh, it's going lower, but guess what? It doesn't. It runs for what? You guessed it. It runs for the last swing high. It runs that high. Now it breaks this high. People are thinking, oh man, it's going to run for this high. It's breaking out. Nope. It turns around, and guess what it does? It runs the other sell side liquidity sitting right here. It runs that level. Traders are thinking, this is the move. It's in the macro time. It has the momentum. Look at this drop right here. It's got to go. It doesn't. It turns around. It acts as if it's going the other direction. And then everybody's thinking, well, look it ran this low. It turned around. It ran this high. It turned around. It did this 4 times. Well, it's probably going to do the same right here. So what does it do? It runs, people are getting in long, and then it turns and runs the other direction without grabbing the sell side liquidity. But I mean, is anybody going to be able to hold this type of drawdown? That's 61 handles. That is 61 handles. And if you're a scalp trader, if you're a momentum trader, this is huge. This is huge, especially when you're only trying to get 10 to 15 handles. So it gets people to stop out, and then what does it do? It actually runs for that next high. Guess what? The high that we were just talking about that it didn't ran, that it thought you're going to run, it runs that high. Now, people are like, well, it's probably not going to run the other direction. It's probably not going to continue. It has to run the other direction. And by that time, they're correct. But excuse me, but by this time, they've probably have tried so many times that they're out of gunpowder, or they've lost so much that they're just afraid that now it's going to run. And then what does it do? It runs aggressively to where? You guessed it, everybody. It runs that sell side. And it continues this pattern over and over. And guess where we're at right here? So can you guess what's going to happen? You probably guessed it. There's a good chance we're going to run this high right there. This is indicative of Fridays. Fridays have a mind of its own. They can be big trend days. They also can be days like this where it is simply seek and destroy. So if you have profits from earlier in the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, it is best to be extremely reserved on Fridays. Be very careful to preserve your capital and not lose it. If you start seeing your model set up and it's not playing out, stay out completely. Go spend time with family. Go do outdoor activities. Make a long weekend, whatever it is. Don't try to make this work because you're going to end up hurting yourself. I've done this over and over in the past thinking that I can figure it out. And lifetime right there. What does it do, guys? It just hit that high. I've tried this over and over again, and I'm finding just to stay away from it gives me more peace at mind. It preserves my capital for next week, and I'm not leaving the whole week of profits in the dust, in the dirt, and I'm emotionally at peace. I'm not going into the weekend hurting and in pain or frustrated on how I traded. So hopefully this is helpful for you guys. This is definitely one to stay away from, especially if you want to have good psychology. Just staying out completely. Remember, zero trades, cash in your account is a position, and it's a safe position. We'll see you guys next week. Take care.